Hello and welcome. Chris from Missouri here, bringing you another video about vintage baseball cards. In this video, I'm going to show you some cards. I'm going to show you some cards that I picked up through a Facebook group and maybe even on eBay. I'm going to talk to you about some cards I'm bidding on in an auction. I'm going to show you some cards that I picked up at a card show this past weekend. So kind of sit back, please, and enjoy the cards. And then I'm going to tell you a little bit of my collecting strategy, maybe. And you tell me if you agree with it in the comments below, or just, if you do something that you think is better or you think I might like, share it with me. I'm definitely subject to change, but first of all, I'm going to show you a gift that I got from YouTuber Andy's Attic. I think it's vintage cards. I don't know, but Andy's a good storyteller. So if you haven't subscribed to his channel, go over there, take a look, and if you like it, subscribe to it and pay attention. You'll hear some different stories. But I'm going to show you a couple things that he got me, and one of them is this. This is a Johnny Damon schedule. Now, I kind of like this. A lot of people forget that Johnny Damon got to start with the Kansas City Royals. And, he's got a lot of hits. There'll be talk about him possible Hall of Famer, but he had one of the worst throwing arms of anybody I ever saw play baseball. But, man, he was a good leadoff hitter for a lot of teams. And the other thing that he got me is this book of Topps baseball cards. All the cards in this book, it goes up from when the Royals started up until 87, and it shows all the cards, the team cards that the Royals have had in their top sets. And I like it. It's a really neat thing to go through to see how many of those cards you like and if you can remember some of those players. So some stuff that I got off of eBay and Facebook group. Let me stop it right there. I've never bought a huge card off of eBay, and I've never purchased a big card off of any Facebook group. I don't know why. I do pick up a lot of cards off of eBay, but it's cards, what I call smaller cards, that help me finish player runs. And I'm working on player runs, and I have a strategy now. I kind of switched over a little bit and pay attention to a couple other dealers. Mike Baseball Collector is one of them. You guys, I think if you gave me $1 for every time I mentioned Baseball Collector on my channel, I'd have 3 different 52 mantles and a 7 by now. But anyway, he has a strategy that he collects Hall of Famers from every decade he goes after, and especially Topps, and I kind of do the same thing. I go after player runs though, so I go after Hall of Fame player runs, and in theory, when he's complete and I'm complete, we'll have basically the same cards. But I have switched over from doing the player runs right now to try to finish up the Hall of Fame runs for each year. Now, I like my baseball room. I love this baseball room, but I'm getting ready to do an overhaul. I'm taking over a bigger space in my house, and what I'm going to do is I'm going after every Hall of Famer from every set. Now, there's no way I'm going to get it, but right now I'm working on from 48 to 1980. And so I've stopped the whole player run thing, even though I'm going to be getting those cards, to I'm going year by year. And so I'm going after a few years to finish all the Hall of Famers. So let me show you some stuff I got off of eBay. So I need this 69 Santo it's not going to complete my 69 Hall of Famers, but I have them coming in where I will now have every Hall of Famer that played in 1969 or that has a Topps card in 1969. Now, here's another card that I got, a 62 Mini Minoso. Beautiful card. I love it. Now, it kind of looks like I'm working on a Mini Minoso run because here's a 58, but really this is trying to get all the 58 Hall of Famers. And I need this to help complete that. And I'm really close to getting all that. I got most of the bigger stars in the 58s and, in all the Hall of Fame, in all the years of the Hall of Famers. Now I'm going after kind of the lesser stars, maybe, lesser Hall of Famers, if there is such a thing. Now, I went to a show in Kansas City with my friend Tom and a couple of my other friends, Billy Ballgame and Coop. He couldn't go. And so Tom and I made it up on a Friday, and it's supposed to be 450 tables. And that would make it the biggest sports card show in Kansas City history. Now, when we got there was a lot of tables not filled, but again, we got there on a Friday, and I think Saturday and Sunday, though, it'll be even a bigger show. And when we traveled up, and I had some strategies going in, and I remember Tom and I talked the whole time going up there, and I said stuff like, I'm bringing this little black book right here. And inside this little black book are years and the cards that I need in those years. For instance, I don't need any 1951 Bowmans or 52 Bowman Hall of Famers. I have them. But I was looking for some 49 Hall of Famers. And I had a list here of cards that I was looking for. And I was sure to find them. And then a thing on the side that I was looking for were some exhibit cards. And they're the taller cards. They're kind of charcoal and white looking or brown looking. And I just love some of those cards. And so that was kind of my side gig. Nothing big. And I, as we were talking, I kind of told him my strategy was when I go to a big show like Strongsville or like the National or maybe even Philadelphia or Chantilly, if I get a chance to go, I'm going to buy a big card. There's going to be a lot of bigger dealers there, a lot of guys with the kind of stuff that I'm looking for. But the smaller shows, I'm going to look up things that I'm pretty confident that I'll get, and they won't be as big of cards. In turn, that usually means that I'm not going to bring as much money to a little show or a local show than I would the National or a bigger show. Now, sometimes I would probably bring more money if I called ahead at a little show and I knew a dealer was going to bring a certain card. But it puts my card collecting goggles on when you're walking through there, and I was focused on Hall of Famers, but on my list there. And I bring that list so I don't double up and that kind of stuff. And when we got there, we walked in about when the doors were open, and the first three tables we went to were loaded with vintage stuff that we liked. Now, they had two sections, two big old room sections, but I believe there probably, out of all those tables, there wasn't, 20 vintage dealers there. There might have been a little bit, but I had a wonderful time with Tom. We got to meet up with a hockey guy that I got to take pictures with, who's selling a book, and it was a fun visit, and talking to some dealers that I've known for a while, and I picked up some nice cards. But I got to see my friend Finley, and if you can remember some older videos that I've done, Finley's this young girl. I don't know, she's somewhere between 8 and 10, but really as a collector, she's going on 35 because she's a mantle collector, but she also likes Pokemon. She carries around this magnifying glass so she doesn't pick up any cards with wrinkles or bad corners. And she's a big YouTube watcher. So if you're a YouTuber out there that does content, I bet Finley probably watches your stuff. So it was great seeing her and her dad and her friend. And I'm going to forget people, but I had the luxury is not the word. I had the good fortune of running into Ty of Chasing Cardboard, and I had a little fun banter back and forth with him. We had Mike, baseball collector, on the phone, and it was fun. And Ty was able to set up at the show, and it was very nice watching his interactions with younger dealers and younger collectors, and even the adult collectors that watch his channel. I mean, he gave them a lot of his time, and I think that's really cool because it helped enhance their experiences. And so all the guys that came up to me at the show, it was fun and taking pictures, and you guys enhanced my experience at the show, and it was a good show. The guy that puts it on, Mitch, does a good job of promoting it, and congratulations if he did break the record of the biggest show in Kansas City history, which is cool. But now my pickups. So at the show, I had this one on my list, even though I have this card. I should get it out. The one that I have, and it's kind of an upgrade, and I don't upgrade cards, but this was on my list because it's in an older BVG holder, and it just didn't, I don't know, just didn't look good. And here I am saying it's the card, look at the card, not the slab. But when you throw that slab in with some other stuff that makes my cards uniform, it just didn't look right, and the card, it didn't have much meaning to me anyway. But I picked up a beautiful 1953 Topps Whitey Ford to replace the card, and I think this is just outstanding. Now these 53s are beautiful, and this Whitey Ford is no exception to that rule. I mean, that's just a good-looking card. Now, one of the things that was not, this isn't on my list, but of course now I'm making it part of my list, is the 41 play balls. A year ago, I was picking up a couple of those cards, and rookie cards are important to me, and there's a player that has a rookie card in there. There's a couple rookie cards in there, players. But the one that I needed, and I have a really nice example of it, is a 1941 double play. I'm sorry if I said play ball. It's double play, Pee Wee Reese. And this card has eluded me for a long time. It has frustrated me a couple times when I've dealt with dealers that just didn't want to deal on it. But I am glad to have that. I also picked up this Joe Cronin and Jimmy Fox. I already have one, but the dealer, this was his last 3 double play cards, and he gave me a pretty good deal on this, because here's the third one that I also have this one as well, but it's Bill Dickey. Now, the show was great. Every time I get together with one of my buddies, especially Tom, we have a wonderful time. He picked up some beautiful cards. He's not a content creator, but he's part of this group. He picked up a wonderful Yogi Berra 54 Bowman Yogi Berra, one of the prettiest ones I've seen. And he picked up a Bob Feller Bowman card. I forget which one exactly, but it's a beautiful card. And the time was great. Just a wonderful time right now to be collecting this hobby. This collecting hobby is not dying. And the best thing about having a hobby is it takes your mind away from the stresses of life. And that's what a good hobby does. when you're doing it, whatever it is, if it's gardening or horseback riding or whatever, it kind of takes your mind away from work and away from stress, and it gives you something to look forward to as well. And I'm enjoying this more today than I have any other time. And whether it's a $12 Ron Santo card or a $350 Pee Wee Reese card, or whether it's replacing a card that you said you never would replace, this hobby gets you thinking and keeps my mind off a lot of things. So guys, thanks for watching. Thanks if you were there in Kansas City and shook my hand or took a picture or said hi or sold me a card. I really appreciate you. And matter of fact, I should have put this in there. I told myself on the way up I was not going to get any unslabbed cards this time because I didn't want to send stuff off. But my man Jason sold me 40 different cards. None of them were very expensive, but he helped fill the void in my collection. So guys, again, hobbies are great. Get your mind off of bad things in the real world and get you something to look forward to. Remember, this is just a hobby. Collect what you like.